Have you ever stepped off a plane and suddenly felt like your body aged 10 years overnight? Your knees ache, your back is stiff, your energy's drained, and no one ever warned you that simply traveling after 70 could feel like a health challenge. If you're over 70 and still love to travel, like me, this video isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to protect you, because hidden beneath the excitement of seeing new places, tasting new foods, and crossing items off your bucket list are 7 dangers that most seniors don't even realize exist until it's too late. You've worked hard your whole life. You deserve to explore the world on your terms, safely, confidently, and joyfully. But let me ask you something. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by long airport walks, confusing schedules, or the fear of falling in an unfamiliar place? Have you ever wondered, if something happened to me, would anyone know what to do? These aren't silly thoughts. They're real. But the good news? You don't need to give up your travel dreams. You just need to travel smarter. In this video, we'll uncover the 7 hidden dangers seniors face when traveling and how to avoid them. Stay until the end. Danger number 7 might just save your life. At first, it seemed like just another great adventure. Mr. Harris, 74, was finally crossing off a lifelong dream, visiting Italy with his wife. The flight from New York to Rome took over 9 hours. He was excited, a little stiff when he landed, but thought nothing of it. A few days later, after walking through cobblestone streets and climbing stairs at the Colosseum, he started to feel a deep ache in his left leg. Then came the swelling, the heat, a dull pain that wouldn't go away. At first, he thought it was just old age catching up with him, but his wife insisted they go to a clinic. The diagnosis shocked them: a deep vein thrombosis, commonly called DVT. It's a blood clot, often forming in the legs after long periods of sitting. And for people over 70, it's far more common than most realize. Why does this happen? As we age, our circulation slows. Veins lose elasticity. Long flights or car rides, where your legs are still for hours, create the perfect conditions for blood to pool and clot. And unlike more obvious risks, like falling, this one creeps in silently. If that clot had traveled to Mr. Harris's lungs, it could have been deadly. But here's the good news. DVT is largely preventable. There are simple steps you can take before and during travel that dramatically reduce your risk. First, move regularly. Whether you're flying or taking a road trip, set a timer to stand up and stretch your legs every hour or 2. Walk the aisle of the plane. Stop at rest areas. Even a short stroll helps keep your blood flowing. Second, wear compression socks. These aren't just for looks. They gently squeeze your lower legs, improving circulation and preventing swelling. Many seniors swear by them for long flights. Third, and most importantly, stay hydrated. The dry air on planes and a tendency to drink less water while traveling both contribute to thicker blood, which increases clot risk. So drink water consistently, even if it means more bathroom breaks. And one more tip, avoid alcohol before and during flights. It dehydrates you, slows circulation, and often leads to even less movement. Mr. Harris is doing fine now, but he shared his story so others don't have to learn the hard way. He's since updated his travel routine, and he says he's never felt safer on the go. So let me ask you, have you ever felt swelling, tightness, or strange aches in your legs after a long trip? You might have brushed it off, thinking it was just fatigue or arthritis. But it's worth paying attention. Your body whispers long before it shouts. In the next part of this video, we'll explore another hidden danger that often goes unnoticed, but can throw your whole trip off balance. And yes, it's something that starts with your feet. But before we move on, leave a comment below if you've had an experience like Mr. Harris, or if you've already taken steps to avoid DVT when traveling. You never know who your story might help. It was supposed to be a dream trip. Ms. Carol, 71, had waited nearly a decade to take this cruise with her sister. 10 days through the Caribbean, sun on her face, and no responsibilities. But on the 3rd day at sea, something didn't feel right. Her chest felt tight. She was dizzy, lightheaded. At first, she thought it was the motion of the ship or maybe the heat. But something inside told her this was different. When she sat down to check her things, she realized the truth. She had completely missed her heart medication, not just once, but for 2 straight days. With time zones constantly changing and a jam-packed itinerary, she'd lost track. Her pillbox was still full, and the scariest part? She hadn't even noticed. This is far more common than most seniors realize. As we get older, medications often become a daily necessity, and some, like blood pressure meds, diabetes pills, or heart medications, are absolutely essential to take on schedule. But travel has a way of scrambling everything. New environments, different time zones, disrupted routines. Before you know it, a critical dose is skipped, or worse, taken at the wrong time. Here's why that matters. Many medications depend on timing. They're designed to work with your body's rhythm, its circadian clock. Throw that off, and your medication may not work as intended. That can lead to symptoms reappearing, or even dangerous spikes in blood pressure, blood sugar, or heart rate. But this doesn't mean you shouldn't travel. It means you need a better system. Here are 3 key ways to stay on track while you're away from home. 1. Use a travel pill organizer. Preferably one labeled with days of the week and multiple compartments for AM/PM doses. Before you leave, load it carefully, double-checking for accuracy. This visual cue alone can prevent missed doses, and it's far easier than digging through bottles in your suitcase. 2. Set alarms on your phone. Even if time zones change, your phone can be set to remind you when your body is used to taking the medication. For longer trips, consider adjusting to local time gradually, but only after checking with your doctor. 3. Talk to your doctor before you travel. If your trip includes crossing time zones, like flying from California to Europe, ask your doctor how to safely adjust your medication timing. Some meds can be spaced out or shifted slightly without harm, but this varies widely depending on the drug. And here's a bonus tip. Write out your full medication list, including dosage and timing, and keep it with you. If you ever need medical attention abroad, this could be life-saving. Ms. Carroll recovered just fine. She spoke with the ship's nurse, restarted her medication carefully, and finished her trip, but she now carries 2 things she never did before: a digital alarm system and a hard-earned lesson. So now let me ask you, have you ever missed a dose while traveling? What did you do to stay on track? Or what tip would you give to someone about to take their first big trip after 70? Leave a comment below. Your advice might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And in the next part of this video, we'll cover a danger most travelers never expect. One that starts the moment you check into your hotel. George had been dreaming about the Grand Canyon since he was a boy. At 76, he finally booked the trip, a 5-day adventure with his daughter, filled with scenic views, local diners, and quality time he cherished. But on day 2, George never left the hotel room. Instead, he spent most of his time in the bathroom, doubled over from stomach cramps, fighting waves of nausea and discomfort. What should have been a bucket list moment became a blur of hotel tile and missed memories. What happened? The day before, George had tried a spicy local chili dish, eaten at a late hour, paired with a few unfamiliar sides. He was tired from the flight, dehydrated, and had skipped breakfast earlier that day. His digestive system, already more sensitive with age, simply couldn't handle the disruption. And George isn't alone. For many seniors, travel throws off digestion. It's a perfect storm. New foods your body isn't used to, irregular meal times, dehydration, stress, and disrupted sleep. All of these can affect the gut. The result? Constipation, diarrhea, gas, bloating, or a general sense of stomach discomfort that can make an exciting trip feel like a mistake. As we age, our digestive system becomes slower and more sensitive. Enzyme production declines. Our gut flora changes, and we're more likely to be on medications that can either constipate or irritate the stomach. That doesn't mean we can't enjoy new foods or travel well. It just means we need a strategy. Here's how to protect your gut while on the go. 1. Pack fiber supplements. This is especially helpful if your diet becomes heavier or less consistent while traveling. A simple daily fiber capsule or powder can help keep things moving, especially if you're eating more carbs and fewer fruits and vegetables than usual. 2. Drink more water than you think you need. Travel, especially flying, is dehydrating. Add in walking more, sweating in warm climates, or drinking coffee and alcohol, and your body is begging for hydration. Sip throughout the day and aim for at least 6 to 8 glasses. 3. Choose your meals wisely. Stick to simple, familiar foods when possible, especially in the first couple days of a trip. Avoid greasy, overly spicy, or unfamiliar dishes late at night. If you want to try something adventurous, do it earlier in the day so your body has time to process it. 4. Bring peppermint or ginger tea. This might sound small, but peppermint and ginger both naturally relax the digestive tract. If you feel bloated, gassy, or nauseous, a warm cup of tea can soothe things better than you'd expect. Plus, it's comforting at the end of a long travel day. 5. Get moving. Even a 10-minute walk after a meal helps digestion. When you're on vacation, it's tempting to relax more, but a little movement can go a long way in keeping your system regular. As for George, once he got back home, he laughed about the experience, but only after promising himself to travel smarter next time. Now, he brings his own tea bags, eats lighter meals the first few days, and always carries a small bottle of water in his jacket. So let's hear from you. Have you ever had a digestive disaster while traveling? Or maybe you've learned a trick that keeps your stomach happy on the road. Share in the comments. Your story might just save someone else's vacation. And up next, we'll talk about a risk that hides in plain sight, something nearly every senior encounters on the road, but almost no one prepares for. Linda was 78 when she finally booked her dream trip to Charleston. The charming streets, old houses, and quiet cafes were just what she needed after a long winter. She found a cozy Airbnb with vintage decor, creaky wooden floors, and a warm southern welcome. But 2 nights in, everything changed. Linda got up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. Half asleep, she didn't see the small rug near the hallway. Her foot caught the edge, and in a flash, she was on the floor. Her ankle swelled within minutes. The pain wasn't unbearable, but it was enough to turn her vacation into a recovery mission. She spent the rest of the trip icing her ankle and limping through what should have been relaxing strolls. And here's the thing, Linda is careful. She uses a cane at home, always watches where she steps. But travel puts us in environments we're not used to. That's where the danger lies. After age 70, even a small fall can have big consequences. A bruised hip, a sprained ankle, or even a cracked wrist can turn a joyful trip into weeks or months of recovery. Why are falls more common while traveling? Because we're in places that aren't designed for us. Think about it. Dim hotel lighting, slippery tiled bathroom floors, rugs that slide, curbs without railings, luggage that gets in the way. Even walking in a crowd can make it easy to misstep. And many places don't have the senior-friendly adjustments we're used to at home, like grab bars or shower seats. But the good news? A few small changes can make a big difference. 1. Bring a portable night light. Those unfamiliar layouts at night can confuse anyone, especially when half asleep. A motion sensor or plug-in light helps guide your steps safely to the bathroom. 2. Wear non-slip, supportive shoes, even indoors. It's tempting to wear slippers or socks around a hotel or Airbnb. But sturdy, non-slip shoes help you stay grounded. Look for ones with grip soles and a firm base. 3. Check your surroundings as soon as you arrive. Take a safety tour of your hotel or rental. Is there a loose rug? Move it. Are the floors slippery? Use a towel or mat. Is the lighting dim? Leave a light on or add your own. No grab bars in the shower? Call the front desk and ask if they have portable options. 4. Keep your walking path clear. Luggage, shoes, cords, they all become tripping hazards in tight spaces. Keep your area organized and clutter-free. 5. Bring a walking aid if needed, and don't be embarrassed. Whether it's a cane, walking stick, or even a foldable walker, having stability is more important than appearance. Remember, confidence comes from feeling secure. Linda says she now packs a tiny LED night light in every bag. It takes up no space, but she swears it saved her from more than one late-night stumble. She also started wearing low-profile, non-slip shoes indoors. They may not be cute, but they've become her travel essential. So how about you? What's one small thing you always pack to feel safer when walking in new places? Drop it in the comments someone else might need that exact idea on their next adventure. And stay with me, because next we'll talk about a hidden danger that most people overlook until they're standing alone in a busy train station, unsure who to call. Mr. Thompson had always dreamed of seeing the Colosseum. At 80 years old, he finally made it. His children booked him on a guided tour through Italy, and for the most part, he was doing great. He kept up with the group, marveled at the architecture, and even tried a bit of Italian at the cafe. But one afternoon in Rome, everything went sideways. It started with a quick photo stop. Mr. Thompson paused near a fountain to snap a picture of a street performer. When he looked up, the tour group had moved on. He turned left, then right, but the narrow alleys all looked the same. No signs made sense. And worst of all, he couldn't remember the name of his hotel. He didn't have a working phone. He didn't write anything down. For nearly 2 hours, he wandered through the busy streets, growing more anxious by the minute. Thankfully, a kind shop owner helped him find a police officer who eventually tracked down the group. But the fear, that stayed with him. This kind of situation is more common than you might think. As we age, our ability to process unfamiliar environments, especially under pressure, can decline. We may forget names, directions, or instructions, even if we heard them just moments before. And when we're tired, hungry, or stressed, those little memory slips become bigger problems. Traveling after 70 can feel mentally overwhelming. Airports, subways, tour schedules, foreign languages, noisy crowds, they all compete for your attention and can leave you feeling disoriented, even if you're usually very sharp. So how can we prepare for this without giving up the adventure? Here are a few smart, senior-friendly solutions. 1. Carry a physical just-in-case card. It should have your full name, hotel name and address, room number, emergency contact, and your medical information if needed. Laminate it. Put it in your wallet, pocket, or wear it on a lanyard. It could be a lifesaver. 2. Use your phone's lock screen. If you have a smartphone, set your lock screen to show emergency info, like your name, medical condition, and emergency contact. If someone finds you, they'll know how to help even if your phone is locked. 3. Download GPS apps with offline maps. Apps like Google Maps or Maps that may let you save maps that work even without Wi-Fi or data. Mark your hotel and key locations ahead of time. You can always find your way back. 4. Let a family member track your location. Apps like Life 360 or Find My for iPhones allow a trusted family member to see where you are in real time. If you go off track or need help, they can guide you or send assistance. 5. Don't be afraid to ask for help, but know how. Learn a few basic local phrases if you're going abroad, or carry a translation card with simple messages like, "I need help," or "Please call this number." Most people are happy to help. You just need a way to communicate. Mr. Thompson now carries a printed card with all his info. He also started pinning his hotel location on his phone's map app and reviews it every morning before going out. He says it gives him peace of mind, and that alone makes the trip more enjoyable. So let me ask you, have you ever gotten confused while traveling, even in a familiar place? What helped you get back on track? Your tip might help another senior traveler stay safe on their next adventure. Share in the comments, and don't miss the next danger on our list. It's one that can sneak up on you, especially at high altitudes or hot destinations. Gloria had always been the adventurous one in her friend group. At 75, she wasn't letting age slow her down. Her dream trip to Thailand was booked, bags packed, itinerary full. From floating markets to golden temples, she wanted to experience it all. But on her third day in Chiang Mai, something went wrong. She felt dizzy. Her speech slurred slightly. Her right hand went numb. The hotel staff rushed her to the nearest hospital, and after several hours, the doctors confirmed it was a minor stroke. Thankfully, she would recover, but then came the shocker. The hospital required $12,000 upfront before continuing treatment. Gloria's Medicare didn't cover a single penny. She had no travel insurance, and her children had to scramble to wire money internationally in the middle of the night while panicking about her condition. This isn't just Gloria's story. It's a wake-up call. Many older Americans believe that their health insurance, especially Medicare, will follow them abroad. But that's not the case. Medicare generally doesn't pay for medical care outside the U.S., except in very limited and specific situations. That means if you're traveling internationally and face a medical emergency, you could be on your own, financially and otherwise. Even in countries with lower healthcare costs, the price of hospitalization, medication, or emergency evacuation can skyrocket into the thousands, or tens of thousands of dollars. And most providers won't wait for reimbursement. They want payment now, and that can leave you or your family in a heartbreaking position. So what can you do? 1. Know exactly what your insurance covers and doesn't. Before you travel, call your provider. Ask if your current health plan includes international emergency care. Most don't, and if they do, the coverage is often minimal or reimbursement-based. 2. Consider buying travel medical insurance. This isn't the same as standard trip insurance. Travel medical insurance focuses specifically on emergency health needs. Hospital stays, doctor visits, medications, even emergency evacuations or repatriation. It's surprisingly affordable, often less than $100 for a 2-week trip, and can offer peace of mind that's worth far more. 3. Check if your credit card offers protection. Some credit cards include limited travel medical coverage if you book your trip using the card, but read the fine print carefully. These benefits are often secondary, meaning they only help after your primary insurance, if any, is exhausted. 4. Carry proof of coverage and emergency numbers. If you do get travel insurance, bring the paperwork with you, including policy numbers and emergency contact info for your insurer. Save on your phone and carry a physical copy too. 5. Think about evacuation coverage. Some plans include air ambulance services if you need to be flown home for treatment. Without coverage, a medical flight back to the U.S. can cost $50,000 or more. Gloria recovered well, and now she never travels without a solid travel insurance plan. She says the few extra dollars are worth the sense of security, especially since you can't predict when or where a medical emergency might strike. So, let's open the conversation. Have you ever bought travel insurance before? Was it worth it? Or did you regret not getting it? We'd love to hear your story in the comments. Your experience could help someone avoid a costly mistake on their next trip. And don't go anywhere, because the final danger we're about to share is the one most senior travelers completely overlook, yet it can affect your heart, your brain, and your energy in surprising ways. Stay tuned. Fred had been looking forward to his Italy tour for months. At 73, he still felt energetic and eager to learn, especially about history and art. The tour promised guided museum visits, walking tours of ancient ruins, and an unforgettable cultural experience. It sounded perfect, but just 2 days in, he felt invisible. The tour guide spoke quickly, barely pausing to answer questions. The group walked briskly through cobblestone streets, often leaving Fred and another older couple trailing behind. When Fred asked for a moment to rest or to clarify something the guide had said, he was waved off with a half smile or ignored altogether. He wasn't asking for special treatment, just a little patience, a little dignity, but instead he felt rushed, unheard, and frankly a bit embarrassed. This experience isn't uncommon for older adults who travel in large tour groups. What should be a joyful, enriching journey can quickly turn into a lesson in frustration, simply because the trip isn't designed with senior travelers in mind. The issue isn't just physical pace, though that matters. It's about respect, inclusion, and the ability to engage meaningfully with the experience. No one wants to feel like dead weight, or worse, like a child being tolerated. Here's the good news. You don't have to accept that. 1. Choose senior-friendly tours. There are companies that specialize in travel for older adults. They plan itineraries with reasonable walking distances, frequent breaks, and guides trained to speak clearly, answer questions, and respect every participant, regardless of age. Before you book, ask, what is the average age of past participants? How physically demanding is the tour? Are there accommodations for people with mobility issues? What's the group size? A tour that welcomes seniors with care and thoughtfulness will gladly answer those questions. 2. Travel with a friend or small group. Having a travel companion makes a big difference. You'll feel more confident, have someone to advocate for you if needed, and it's simply more enjoyable to share experiences with someone who understands your pace and interests. Smaller tours, fewer than 10 people, often offer a more personalized, flexible experience. You're not just a number. You're a person with questions, ideas, and stories of your own. 3. Speak up. Your voice matters. If you feel overlooked during a tour, say something, politely but firmly. A good guide will listen and adjust. If they don't, that's a sign the tour company may not deserve your business in the future. 4. Plan downtime. Group travel can be intense. Build in free time where you can explore your own pace or simply rest. You deserve a trip that feels good, not one that leaves you drained. Fred's story had a happy ending. He switched to a smaller, locally run tour in Florence where the guide took time to engage each traveler. Fred asked all the questions he wanted, and even made a new friend who shared his love for Renaissance architecture. That second half of his trip, it reminded me why I love to travel, he said. So let's talk. Have you ever felt overlooked while traveling in a group? What made the experience better or worse? Leave a comment below. Your story might inspire someone else to travel more confidently and demand the respect we all deserve, no matter our age. And now, let's wrap up this journey together with some final reflections and travel tips that can help you or your loved ones feel safe, respected, and full of life on every future adventure. You don't have to be afraid to travel. You just have to be prepared, because the goal isn't just to reach your destination. It's to enjoy it fully, confidently, and safely. Let's quickly remember the 7 things to watch for. Blood clots from sitting too long, medication mix-ups, digestive distress, fall risks, navigation confusion, insurance gaps, group travel frustrations. If this video helped you, please share it with another senior who loves to travel. You could save them from an unexpected crisis. And don't forget to subscribe to Senior Health Secrets, because you deserve a life of adventure, joy, and safety, no matter your age.